How strong is Anos Voldigoad? As the war between humans and demons raged on, Anos eventually grew tired of the constant fighting and decided that the only way peace could be achieved was by building walls between the four races, hoping they'd forget their grudge after 1,000 years or so. Thus, he formed an agreement with the god of creation militia, Great Spirit Reno, and the hero Canon, and sacrificed himself to supply enough magic for the cause, saying that he would reincarnate after 2,000 years. Despite his title as the Demon King, Anos has a definitive moral compass and generally has a kind and caring outlook. He takes a great interest in the well-being of not only his family, but also his subordinates and followers, and is quick to reward them for their loyalty. He is willing to go through great lengths to assist in their development, in order for them to reach their full potential. Now let's talk about how truly strong is this Demon King. First, we should know that each bubble world is more of a macrocosm, not only a universe. The universe is the black sky, which is provably its own space-time. There are incalculable amounts of copies of everything in the world via the land of traces and the demon garden. There's the azure sky, which is a higher level infinity, or low outer to outer construct, which can house countless worlds, which can be infinite in size, and still exist within the blue sky. However, the blue sky is beyond the extensions of the dimensional gap, and stated to be made up of order alone, which I'll get to later. As such, it can be concluded it is beyond dimensional measurement of space and time. Secondly, there are an incalculable amount of copies of everything in the world, including the world itself, within the land of traces ran by the god of trace. If a world has a past, it has a trace god, since that god governs the traces of history. This means that there are incalculable amount of copies of the black sky, universal time-space, dimensional gap, and the azure sky. This means each bubble, considering these all exist within a single bubble world, is a multiverse in of itself, with a dimensional hierarchy. In the militia world specifically, Misha created the Demon Garden, which is 3 copies of the entire world that can be infinitely recreated and replace a destroyed copy. This was created to contain Anos's world-destroying magic so that the garden would be destroyed and replaced to no end, so that the main world wouldn't face total destruction as it waits for Anos's magic to diminish. We can conclude that concepts are 1. Linked with an object. 2. Changing the concepts change the object. Now here are the explanations of order. Although they are stated to be laws, they are concepts as well, in fact, provably Platonic in nature. 1. They need to be independent from the part of reality they govern. Order governs the black sky, which is separate from the azure sky. Also, they exist independently as they were stated to come before the actual world or the black sky. 2. Everything participates in these concepts. Order makes up the world, so therefore without order the world would fall. Point 3. Which means that the alteration of these concepts changes every object across all of the area of influence. Order of destruction was distorted, causing death to be limited and messed up. So we can safely conclude they are conceptual by nature. What about CSAP's version? Well, to be a Platonic, you need VSBW's requirements plus 1. Being transcendent of reality in every aspect. This is proven by gods being a race that not even the most powerful of the other races can perceive their power/magic. Magic being the foundation for whether someone is transcendent or not. Reno being the mother of all spirits and the most powerful. 2. Being beyond all spatial and temporal dimensions. As proven that the dimensional gap is disconnect with the black sky by space and time, and them being dimensional chasm. As soon as they pass the chasm, they arrive at the azure sky, implying that it's separate from the chasms. Also, the azure sky is made up of order alone, which are conceptual and abstract, so the azure sky is an abstract realm, exist prior to and after the object. Also, Platonic concepts must be non-mental. This one is harder to prove. However, the way I do it is the fact we already have mental concepts in the form of spirits. Fire dew is the essence of life that traverses through worlds to others, also is equivalent to the term source, implying that fire dew is the source of the world. The amount of fire dew dictates your depth, magical power, weight of order, and visualizes order. Order is implied in this case to be a higher state than fire dew, considering fire dew is nothing more than the measurement of order. Also, it's equal to the world itself, as losing it would mean the destruction of the world. The difference in the layers is noted by Barza Rondo to be in another dimension. This means the difference between a world in layer 1 to a world in layer 2 is a dimensional infinite difference. This is backed by him stating that even destroying a shallow world, which I noted were at least 4D spacetimes, won't even destroy a world of a lower layer. Backing up the infinite difference because this is what's implied. Infinite shallow is lower the deeper finite, so infinite shallow is lower than deeper infinite, which proves a level of infinity. And Anos scales above all of that by huge gap. Overall, I scale Anos to high outer versal to boundless with irrelevant speed. If you like content like that, make sure you give support to the channel and write your ideas down in comments. Kami is out.